I will finish what you started.
Hey guys, sorry for that super weird intro. That is just a happy belated National Star Wars Day. Yeah, in case you didn't know, last Tuesday, May the 4th, May the 4th be with you, was the National Star Wars Day. And so, whether you celebrate it or not, happy National Star Wars Day. Belated. And on a side note, I did get new glasses. I'll get used to them eventually. You'll get used to them hopefully eventually. But if you don't, you can just keep calling me Bubbles like my brother's been doing. So without any further ado, let's get into this week's topic. Coming up with ideas and brainstorming is hard. That is one of the hardest parts of being a one-man band at first, because you have to come up with your idea, you have to write the script, you have to do everything from beginning to end. Coming up with the idea is sometimes the hardest part out of everything, and there's so many steps. And in a world full of reboots, sequels, and Disney owning everything, it's sometimes hard to come up with original ideas. One of my favorite places to go and listen to screenwriters talk is Script Notes. It's a podcast run by John August and Craig Mason. John August has written things like Big Fish. Craig Mason just wrote The Huntsman, Winter's War. He's written all the Hangover movies, at least in part. And yeah, they're two really cool guys who do a lot of talk about making movies, the business of making movies, and screenwriting in general. So yeah, if you're interested in that in any capacity, go check that out. I'll put a link in the description. It's a really great podcast. I highly recommend it, and I listen to it every week. So with that plug out of the way, let's get right into the topic. So nowadays, it seems like everything has been done already. It's so hard to come up with original ideas. Or at least we think it is. You think everything has been done, especially when you see Captain America Civil War, the third Captain America movie, things coming out like that, it makes you think that, there are no original ideas left, which isn't true. And then you see things like Swiss Army Man coming out this summer, I think looks fantastic. It is one of the most original things I've ever seen, and I can't believe no one's thought of it yet. It is crazy. I'm so excited for it, and that really gives me hope to know that there are still original ideas out there. And whether you know it or not, most original movie ideas actually aren't that original. Reservoir Dogs, super original, right? It's a crazy movie that no one saw coming, but it's not really that original. It's just a heist film, but they changed one thing. It's a heist film where you don't actually see the heist. And that's what makes it original. My second short film, actually. It's on this channel if you guys want to check it out. It's called Subject 63. I'm pretty proud of it. There's definitely a couple things that I realized I could have done better, but moving on. That short film, to me, all I see is a mix of Lost, the TV show, and Moon with Sam Rockwell. So if you watch it, definitely please let me know if you see that same thing, or if you see other inspirations in it that I didn't even realize I was putting in it. But just because you come up with an original idea doesn't mean there's not inspiration in it, because inspiration comes from everywhere, even if you're not intentionally putting inspiration into something. I like to come up with 5 or 10 different ideas that are all just kind of decent, and just sit down and start developing all of them. And then at that point, as you get further and further into developing each of them, you can decide which one you like the best and which one you want to spend a year or two of your life on. And guys, this is the great thing about independent filmmaking and filmmaking in general. There aren't really any rules. You can kind of just do whatever you want. There's not an equation, to like, you have to do it this way, because if it was that way, cinema would be boring. If you work hard exhausting a bunch of different possibilities, one of them's going to stick and you're going to like one of them. Odds are, you find one, you love it, and you run with it. You think Subject 63, the concept for that, was the first idea that I had, and I just ran with it? No, it was probably like my 10th or 11th idea, and it's not even that solid. I mean, it's okay, and I liked it, and I liked it enough, to run with it for 2 years of my life, but, I mean, there are definitely better ideas out there. Things that you think of that don't sound like interesting movies, when done right, can be interesting. Indiana Jones is a movie about an archaeologist. If you pitch that to someone, they're going to say that sounds super boring. But it's not, because it's Indiana Jones and we love him. And that's all thanks to the great screenwriter of that movie. Just because it sounds boring doesn't mean it will be boring. If you do it right and you do it justice, that story justice, it's going to be fun and people are going to love it. And that brings me to my last point. If you like it, the audience will. Odds are, if you're developing something and spending this much time on it and you love it and you just love the idea and everything about this movie that you're making, odds are there's going to be people in the audience that feel the same way. Like I said, put 5 ideas in a hat, draw one out, and just run with them. If it starts sucking, switch to the other one. There are no wrong answers when it comes to things like this. One thing I do is I just lay on the ground and stare at the ceiling and just let my mind wander for like an hour. It's super weird, and my family thinks I'm on drugs when I do it, but I've come up with some great ideas that way. These are just the things that I do and things that I think you guys could benefit from, and anyone out there who wants to make movies, I think you could try any of these if you're stuck, and if they work, that's great. Let me know. So like I said, guys, I know coming up with ideas and writing the actual script and deciding which idea you want to use is sometimes the hardest part of filmmaking. I hope these tips helped you guys, and I hope you can employ them in your own screenwriting endeavors. So I really appreciate all the views. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And this has been a Runaway Brain Productions. I'll see you guys next time.